Welcome to Breaking the Chain. I'm Jacob,
And I'm Cody.
and we're doing one of our classic tier list videos. Before we get into that,
Classic.
Cody, let me hear. Yeah. We do this all the time. This is common at this place, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we jump into that,
it's been a minute, right? I guess.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But this is our second tier list video. I just thought it'd be funny to call it classic.
Yeah, and this one will be really accurate. So
just like our last one.
Yeah, just like a lot. Yeah. I will say, I think our last one was in the frame set, if I remember correctly. It was in the frame set of what you should bring to like a pro quest. So I think it was a little more accurate on that sense. I could be misremembering.
I want to say everyone else is wrong. We're right. Like we're the ones making
the stats are wrong.
The stats are wrong.
Stop the count.
You don't know how to play your heroes.
Exactly. Blame the players.
People to keep listening.
It's like the SpongeBob or not SpongeBob. It's like the Simpsons meme where it's like, is it me that's wrong? No, it's the kids who are wrong. Am I out of touch?
No, they're out of touch. But
anyway,
coming back on the board.
Yeah,
you want to give a quick shout out to your week in Flesh and Blood?
Sure. Actually, well, before that, I want to give a slight reasoning behind why we're doing this tier list. Not just like saying, "Oh, we're gonna do tier list." But this is going to be a tier list that is what you should bring to your RTNs for this upcoming weekend. Actually, it's not necessarily this is the strongest or anything. This is going to be. Here's what we think will be successful and get you your nationals invites, which has a very different frame of mind, by the way, on what you will actually want to bring to your, or what is actually the strongest is what I meant to say. So yeah, I think that with that, with that, I will get into my week, which was unfortunately no in-person armories, but I did play a lot of Talishar, a lot of testing for my RTN pick for this weekend, which is Dash.io, which we'll get into later on where that ranks on the tier list. How about you?
I went to an armory, went undefeated on Valda.
Hell yeah.
Another great week, but I don't want to take up too much time of the tier list needed up. So it was a good armory. A lot of fun.
Yeah. That's all. You've been doing better and better with Valda lately.
Yeah. It's clicking. I'm getting to that flow state. It's great. Hopefully I can bring that to an RTN. I'm really, really nervous that and I mean, it's a armory, so it's a little less serious.
Yeah.
But still, it's cool to sit down and I was always struggling to get that last win, but recently I've been able to more consistently win out, which is cool.
And remind me, are you able to go to the RTN this weekend, our local one?
Not this weekend. It looks like the one next weekend I can go to, so that's
the one I can't go to. So I guess we won't take down both finals of the next two RTNs.
Yeah,
it's fine. We'll let other people have a chance to go to the finals.
And then if we go to an RTN the week after, then we can play each other.
Yeah, I'll probably be at that one, the Kipling one. Yeah. But yeah, before we get into the tier list, I wanted to pose a question. I wanted to do a challenge to our audience. Let us know what you think belongs in the top tiers of the tier list below before seeing the rest of the videos. If you think Tough Nut is just the best pick and is an S tier, let us know in the comments below. Yeah, I just want to put that out there first. See if you can predict it, and then we'll jump into our tier list. The tier list, by the way, it looks like I grabbed this from someone else's creation on this tier maker. It looks like most of the heroes are A to Z except for the recent 4 Super Slime heroes, which I think is pretty cool because those will then be the last. But yeah, do you want to start with Slippy? We just got an armory deck recently for this deck. Have you looked into the cards at all, or looked into how the deck performs with those armory deck cards?
There's a lot of unique and fun interaction with that armory deck. Like the Horrors of the Past, where you can stack on something and mantle to change it, but it's has the text from the last attack because of how it stacks. It's like I'm not explaining it very well, but it's like it
Hold
seems
on.
really cool and unique.
I'm gonna do the little overlay for some of the cards we talk about.
Okay.
You said Horus of the Past?
Or horrors of the past.
Horrors of the Past.
I'm pretty sure that's
There
what
we
it's
go.
called. Yeah. But like how that like from what I've heard and what I think is common knowledge again like among people on the social medias is that you can do an attack on Slippy that's like persuasive. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. The the blue one attack. The what's it called?
Persuasive Prognosis.
Thank you. That card. Yeah, you do that first. Then you play Horrors of the Past. It gains the text of that card. And then if you do Mantle on top of it and say do like Black Widow, then you have both those banish effects because it's Horrors of the Past adds it as like a layer. It's not actually the like it's really weird how it stacks, but it ends
Text
up
gets the
gaining
base
both those
abilities.
texts after Mantle.
It gets the base abilities with stealthy control on the combat chain. Okay, wait. Let me look at how Mantle works. Mantle reads. All right, Mantle reads. Target attack action card with stealth gets +2. You may banish an attack action card with stealth from your graveyard. The target becomes a copy of the banished card. Yeah, because I know that like some stat buffs will retain.
Yeah, and so apparently that's one of the stat buffs that retains text because it's like applying like Blood Rot Pox
Yes.
or Spike with Blood Rot where it says your next attack gets on hit.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Okay.
like you can stack on hits onto that card, which is really, really interesting.
That's scary.
Yeah. So there's like some unique things that came out of that deck.
Yeah, that seems decently strong actually. And I mean, to be honest, Slippy really only lost Bonds, which was a great, really good card. But the deck was still strong despite that. It just wasn't quite holding up to Syndra and Verdance, which have now taken a step down. So I think that this deck could actually be a pretty good contender for near the top of the tier list, especially for an RTN.
And it's something where like I say this because I'm like I think it was in a like especially after the last ban, it took a pretty big hit. It dropped pretty far down. And I think this is actually like and the armor is like really relevant. I think
Yeah.
this is like one of the first armor sets from an armory deck other than KO where it really does affect like constructed heroes. And so it's something that's like super relevant and like interesting. So
Yeah.
but again, I want to say with all of this, I still haven't seen much movement on Slippy. Like, there's cool stuff, there's interactive stuff. How do you get persuasive or like cores to pass to like stack correctly? From I haven't seen it actually happen, so it feels like it's probably a little harder than it sounds to actually do. So
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
something where
it's kind of like the whole Kiss of Death T Toxin. Like it happens sometimes, right? When you find the card pairings together, but I wouldn't like ever count on it happening.
yeah.
I still think the deck is strong. So I'm gonna get like sum it up with a couple of reasons why I think it's strong. It just has a base floor level strength that is good. It's good values, good disruption, good damage. Also, into some of the decks that we're gonna start putting up in the top of the tier list, I think it will perform well into. And I think that it's a fairly consistent deck for an RTN. So my vote is that it goes into currently top of A. We'll see if it stays top of A after more heroes are added, but definitely an A tier hero.
Yeah, my vote is closer to bottom of A, top of B, which I mean, there's no one in A at the moment, so
Right.
it's like D is sitting at top. But like, I think I'm okay with that because I do think the assassin class has a lot of really good support right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more support. I think it'll be well positioned into the meta. Oh, this Kano shouldn't exist here. It's a little reminiscent of a different time.
Thank
But
goodness.
anyway, let me go. Let's move on to the I don't know why I'm stuttering here. Let's move on to Arachne Huntsman, who actually recently got a bit of a buff. Not buff, but like a bit of a power boost from was it the Super Slam card, the D
Oh
React?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was like so confused. I'm like, did he get anything from
he
the like
did.
armory deck?
He
Like
was actually not even that bad last meta. Just has a kind of rough Verdance matchup, which now Verdance has taken a step down. Um, we'll get to it later, but Verdance is still
after the
very
last
good.
tier list, I have PTSD of putting Verdance anywhere but S tier. Like
Yeah, I mean Verdance is still clearly good, like not unplayable after the ban list, but
yeah.
has definitely fallen a bit. Actually, one of the big things was that with that matchup, if I remember correctly, was that Arachne Huntsman didn't want to let Verdance decompose by attacking, um, nor did Verdance want to attack um, the Huntsman and allow for the D react to banish their stuff. But with less D react decomposes, you can't really do that anymore. You have to attack.
Avoid attacking.
You have to attack to decompose now. So I think it's actually maybe just a favored matchup for Huntsman now. I can see that being the case. Regardless, I think that Arachne Huntsman is a phenomenal choice for an RTN. I would go as far as to say it's an S tier pick, and that might be a bit
That is
spicy.
an absolutely crazy take.
And you want
I
to know
like
why?
him. I do think.
It-
Are
I
you
think it's
talking about?
I think it's just a solid like local pick.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
it's
know. Like
consistent. Anyway, go ahead.
it's something where I feel like he has a hyper consistent game plan, which I think is really good for like an RTN.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's like so hyper consistent that if you have players in your area that know how to play into Arachne, I think Arachne starts to really suffer. Where like
Yeah.
I think they're really good at like, okay, I'm more like I'm new to this meta, and I think that they did so well last meta because like no one knows how to play into this fatigue deck. But like now a lot of people I think have learned because they became more meta relevant because they are a better deck. So it's
Yeah.
like I think I think S tier is a crazy pick. I personally think it's B. I think if you like specialize and you can make some outs and have some like more meta relevant decisions, then I think B is like, oh yeah, you can definitely take this. Like you could win your RTN if everything goes right. But I think you're gonna have some hurdles. Like I'd like there's still gonna be some decks that you struggle with. Like I don't
I
know
was gonna ask that question next. What does it lose to?
I just don't know the matchup spread as well. But I don't know. It's like I think I was also talking to like Ashen Wings a little bit about like Arachne a while ago, and it was something where like we were talking like people know the deck more, which makes it a lot harder for it to perform. It's not that it's necessarily a bad deck, but it also doesn't have anything that's like super crazy, and it's like hyper consistent, like kind of similar to what I said. And it's something where I definitely think it can like top four in RTN, and it's something he top I think at least topped 8 with a PQ on it, if not a little more. But it's I don't know. I just find it's hard with like some very aggressive decks because a lot of his defensive plays are actually really bad to banish cards.
Mm.
Like a 3-card 4 is that's the defense reaction. It takes 2 cards from hand to block 4 damage. And against an aggressive deck, it doesn't matter as much. And I have a problem seeing this deck doing well against anything that kind of goes like aggressive. I honestly don't know the matchups too well. I know Syndra's down, which is really good for him too. Um,
Yep,
I
it
can't
sure
see how he
is.
deals with Gravy though. Like summon an ally, like you can't attack me, you have to kill my ally. I'm just gonna
Yeah, Gravy's
keep
probably
doing
a
what
bit of
I
a
do.
wash. We can actually look at
Yeah,
the Talishar stats and see.
we could. I didn't even think about that.
Let's see what the Talishar stats say.
It's like, but my point is, I don't know enough about him to tell exactly what his meta share is, but it's something where it's like I think he can win an RTN, but I think it's gonna take more than just bringing the deck. It's like you have to have practice, you have to understand your sideboard, you have to like understand how heroes can get around your fatigue, and it's like Like I
So
think Guardian is super favored into him. Like, but not that there's gonna be a ton of Guardian, but it's like I think I also have a very skewed perspective because I play Guardian.
Volda on here. I mean, Volda definitely would do a little bit better into him. Um, yeah, so I'm looking at the stats. The decks that it loses to are Gravy with a 40% win rate,
Yeah.
KO with about a 40% win rate, Fang with a 30% win rate, Prism with 40%, Florian with 32%, but then everything else is at worst slightly unfavored. So Gravy and KO are kind of just the only big ones, if you ask me. Everything else you're good into.
Crazy good into the max, but that's kind of expected.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm trying to say is like this deck is super consistent. You're gonna just have a ton of free matchups into whether it's matchups that you're just good into um or people just not being comfortable playing into the deck. And you'll run into a Gravy here and there, a KO here and there, or a Fang that's gonna ruin your day. But outside of those few heroes, because I don't think Gravy's gonna be that popular for this RTN season, um, I think that you are in a really good spot to top 4 your RTN. I would not pick this deck to win an RTN. I'm gonna put that out there. I don't think I would pick this deck to win in RTN. I would only pick this deck to top 4 in RTN, and I think it excels at that.
That's okay. I I could see that. I still don't want to put him above Slippy though. Like I still
Okay.
think Slippy has more range of I think the consistency point is really good. Like I think you do have a very good point there, but I just don't see them being better than Slippy, you know? And it might be like I think aggressive is a little better than defensive right now in the meta. And
Yeah,
I think it
proactive
has
versus
been for a
reactive.
while.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like my view on it is like Slippy's proactive, uh Huntsman is reactive, and it's kind of the two different sides of the coin. And I think the proactive is a little stronger.
Right. You know what? I didn't think about it. I wonder if that deck gets any new cards from the Slippy deck. I hadn't thought about that at all, actually. Armory deck
It's
Arachne.
the thing is like a lot of the cards are very much stealth and marked base.
Right.
And I don't know how much the old Arachne cared about the stealth and mark and all that stuff.
Well, you don't have Go again, which is a big deal.
No, there's quite a few cards that care about gaining go again. Like
Right.
there's the one that like gets your next stealth attack go again, but it has to have go again from Slippy's ability to be relevant. There is
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything relevant.
yeah.
Yep. No, nothing
I,
new.
like that most the helmet, but I think the original Arachne is the one that really likes the banish the extra card,
Yeah.
and you can buy it back with silver. So like I really don't think they got any upgrades.
Yep. No
And
upgrades.
I
I was
think
just
that's
checking.
another reason I want to sit it behind Slippy.
As long as it's in A tier, I'm happy. I would be. I think it's an S tier hero, but we'll see after. Like we can rearrange later
Yeah.
on. All right. Speaking of the other Arachne, Mario. What do you think about that?
I think
What do you
that
think about that here?
I think Mario S tier. Like
You
I
think S
actually
tier?
straight up I think Mario is best deck in format. Like
Ooh, that's a spicy take.
I think that it's a deck that is consistent. It also plays a different game than a lot of heroes. That's harder to interact with, like most of it being within the reaction step, and also it can just win you games sometimes. And it might be just like my experience against Mario, but it's like also just like seeing how Mario plays in Chalistra ban. I don't think really changed a whole lot. So it's like something where it's like sometimes you'll be playing and you like the Mario will just draw a hand and be like, "Oh, you're at 15 life, I win." Like I drew plus 10 in reactions and you're not gonna block because whatever. I'm just throwing a dagger for one. Psych, it's 15. You don't have a reaction, I won. Or like Tarantula Toxin when someone's at low life. Like you throw a dagger, someone blocks your dagger because they're at low life. You buff it with Slaver, like Savor Bloodshed. Then you -3 +3. Like that's a 0 for 6 in the reaction step. Insane. Like I think that he has a lot of really good tools to push back past. I think a lot of what would be considered just like normal RTN decks. Like you can go and take a normal RTN deck, and I think it's also another thing where like, oh yeah, you have Huntsman where Huntsman struggles with like when people really start to understand him, even if he's consistent. Like I think Marionette like has a similar thing, but at the same time, like you can still just get around it because you do some really strong power plays. Well, Huntsman's power play is I banish 3 cards from your deck while defending. Woo. Like, oh, I ripped a card from your hand. Crazy. Like Mario is in the reaction step, I dealt 10 damage to you. You can't respond.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I honestly think Mario is best deck.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I was just looking at some Talishar stats, and he's definitely one of the highest win rate heroes at 54% overall. You really your only bad matchups are, it looks like, a slightly unfavored Gravy matchup and an unfavored Florian matchup. By the way, Florian
I
win
mean,
rate,
Huntsman is unfavored too,
Huntsman's
but
unfavored, but that's it.
that's it.
I will say,
Every other
side note,
matchup you're winning in.
actually, I'll talk about this later. I'll talk about this later. But yeah, you literally only have 2 bad matchups so far, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think this is an S tier deck. You have a very consistent and modular game plan that you can enact. It is just innately strong. You can catch people off guard, especially at your RTNs. I think you can very easily top 4 in RTN with this deck. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is S tier deck, especially for top 40 in RTN.
I see this as like I think you have the deck that helps you push to the top 4 and you can win the RTN on this deck. Like this is
Yeah.
I think this has both in it. Like you can do anything with this deck. And I think like to say all this, you do have to know what you're doing to really top 4 in RTN.
Yeah.
Like you're not just going to get lucky into it. But and you're not just going to get lucky into it, but I think this is the best choice if you really just want to go
Yeah.
and dominate your RTN.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, without going too far into each hero, I think it's a very solid pick. It'll top 4 your RTN. As long as and we're gonna keep the basis of the rating of all these heroes as you know how to play this hero. Not like maybe you're not like the expert, like you'll go win a calling with it, but you know how to play the hero at a bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. You know at least a lot of the good lines. You don't have to know the best lines, but you have a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
You know some good lines.
Yeah.
Maybe a line or two that normal, like if I were to pick it up, I wouldn't be able to think about or even figure out.
Right. So
Very
by the way,
Arachne meta.
yeah, it looks like an Arachne meta so far. Very assassin meta. Side note, I changed some of the names of the C and D tier lists, C and D tier sections. C is now only if specialized. So if you are just, that's the only deck you play and you are very comfortable on it into all the matchups, then it can be an okay pick. And then the last one is don't play instead of D. Just don't play it. Speaking of don't play, we have Betsy next, and I'm going to drop her there.
Yep. No argument.
Yep.
Yeah, we can just move on from that. She has not gotten support since she came out, and she was not good when she came out.
Wearlog.
Yeah, Wearlog. Cody was supposed to quit at this point, but you know he's still here.
Yeah. I was. Next is Bravo. What do you think about Bravo?
It hurts my soul, but he's in don't play. Like he's
Yeah.
in a very similar camp to Betsy. Like you can just do what he's doing better in any other deck.
Yeah, there's just no reason to play him.
And I think the hardest part is like a lot of right now is like what's harder to defend? I'm throwing 11 dominate, you know what I'm throwing at you, or I'm throwing a dagger for 1, psych it's 15. Like
yeah.
And it has much more or better disruption because I'm an assassin. I don't know.
Yep. I don't know. Yeah, don't play. There's no reason to play it over
for
Victor or Jarl or
plays, he has to keep his entire hand. Like I think he struggles a lot.
Definitely.
From being an old hero.
Yeah. We'll see if he gets tools in Compendium of Wraith. Maybe.
Right.
All right. Syndra. the recently nerfed hero got branded with Thunderclaw red, or no, it was all colors, and Wrath of
Yeah.
Retribution banned. But probably still a solid deck. I think it's still decent. I would probably summarize it by putting it in either B tier or only as specialized, probably more like B tier.
Mm.
I think that you can still definitely win your RTN or top 4 your RTN with this hero. I think it's solid. I don't think it'd be the best pick, but I think it's a very solid choice.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this feels like a B tier hero right now.
Yeah.
It's like she has ways to do some stuff, but a lot of her like Wrath, I think, was a huge hit because that was a lot of her like really big explosive plays to like turn games around. And Brand with Cinderclaw, like all colors, is a crazy hit because like a lot of her game plan was just turning one card draconic, and that was just a free way to do it. Like now you have to, and I I haven't played Syndra, but it's like now there's a few cards in your deck that I feel like are going to be harder to turn online, like the 0 for 4 that makes things cost 1 less after you play it,
Yep.
or
The 1 for 5 that
and I
deals
know it was
2,
already
or
contentious the
the breaking scales.
brand or the loyalty card that was just a 0 for 4. You can only play draconic
Yeah.
cards this turn. I already know that was contentious, but now you have 9 less ways to make other cards in your deck draconic. Like
Yeah, it's just a huge consistency hit is all it is. The deck is still strong. It still has a base power level that is strong and consistent. Well, somewhat consistent now. I think you can build the deck to be very consistent by losing a bit of the power that it used to have. But ultimately, not the best choice for your RTN. I would say like if you have the deck, you're comfortable with the deck, then go ahead and play it. It's better than just trying a new hero. But I think that if you can play something else, I would.
I concur.
Yeah. Next up is Dash.io, my girl. I am just going to start out by dragging this into the only if specialized category. This is not an easy deck to play. It is a very strong deck right now, but it's not easy. And if you look at our tier list so far, we have Assassins as the top 3 spots, which is not an ideal matchup for Dash.io.
Yeah.
You are okay into these matchups, by the way. Like they're not that bad, but you have to really know how to play into these matchups to be able to beat them. And I think that if you queue into one of these assassins in top 8, and you aren't super familiar, super comfortable on Dash.io into these assassins, then you will not get your invite. So very, very strong deck, but you need to be well practiced in this deck in order to get your invite.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's something where I think Dash.io is like up there with Marionette. Like I think in just straight up power level, I think you can sit down and argue that Dash.io might be just best deck in format. Like if you told me that, I would 100% like I would 98% believe you. I do think Mario is there, but like I could definitely believe Dash.io being best deck in format. But I was a little surprised when you said only in only if you're specialized here.
Yeah.
But then it made sense. After I heard that, it made a lot of sense because it is really easy for a lot of decks to just go, I'm blocking this game. I'm not even gonna really attack you.
Yep.
Can you get around that? Like a lot of decks are gonna ask you that question.
A lot of them. You have to be really comfortable with the fatigue game plan and everything.
Yeah. And I think that's something that's really hard to pick up when you're especially new to the hero.
Yeah. Something else I'm going to point out too is that the deck just does have a bit of variance involved, and that's not a deck that you want to play for an RTN, right? I played a ProQuest, I think 2 months ago, where I ran into Luke on Dio in the mirror, and I just got unlucky in top 8, and I lost in top 8 because of it. And that's not really what you want for an RTN deck. The deck, again, very strong. I'm definitely bringing it to my RTNs because I'm comfortable with it. I like it. But you have to keep that in mind, the consistency level whenever you pick a deck that, if your goal is to get your invite, then you have to keep that consistency level in mind. And Dio can be pretty inconsistent. You can't just lose games based on your own deck and nothing to do with the matchup or anything. So
it's definitely something where I think if a specialized Dio player, you can
Play it 100%.
very easily make top 4. Like,
Yeah.
I think you can very easily.
I
make
think
top 4.
if you had a ton of experience and felt comfortable in the assassins, top of S tier is what my pick would be. But I have to say only specialized. Like it's super important. Speaking of Dory, I don't think it's a don't play deck. I think it's, again, if you're specialized in it, I think it's a solid choice.
Hey, I want to put Dory in B tier below Syndra because I think it's a deck that
I was gonna put specialized, but like basically B tier specialized. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's something where it's like I think someone can pick it up. Like it does have good matchups into like Gravy Bones. It does have just generic defense. Like it generically runs defense reactions, and a lot of it isn't like how your opponent. Like the specialization is really just when to block and when to use your reactions, knowing on the game state. But like I don't know, I feel Dory is less specialized than she is. Like you can still pick her up and generically run her and have a chance of like doing well. Like I think like picking up Dio this week, or like say you picked up Dio last week and it's your first time, you're not gonna do well.
That's
Well, I
fair,
think
that's
if you
fair.
picked up Dory last week, I think that you have like a chance because like I think yeah, every hero is gonna have some problems with like specialization. Like Mario is very much a specialization hero, but I think it's something going into an RTN. If you picked it up last week, you could definitely tackle and win, or like at least top 4 in RTN.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I think the spec is more like if you have to have been playing them for more than just the last week or two.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even
fair.
if you are a good player.
It's not nearly as you need to be well practiced as Dio or some of the heroes I'm going to suggest we go into specialization. So I think I agree with the B tier. I will put out there that Dory currently has a 52% win rate on Talshar, with its only bad matchups being it was Kasai, Verdance, Mario. Okay, there's actually a handful of bad matchups, but
yeah,
never mind. B tier it is.
And that's what, like I think against like normal and the other advantage of Dory is she hasn't been popular for a very long time. And you can take advantage of that. Like I think Dory is a hero that really well takes advantage of not knowing how to play into her.
Yep.
Like it's like the classic effect of I remember like when she was popular back early game, like everyone's like, oh man, I can't beat Dory. Like as a beginner, it didn't matter what deck you were playing, you couldn't beat Dory. And then you played it enough and you're like, oh okay, I understand. And then you get to your like win rate percentage. But there's gonna be new players that never really played Dory because Dory's not popular. And that's something where you can sit down and you're gonna get wins you like normally can't get because people haven't played against a Dory in how many years. Like that's where I'm like, I think it's like a B tier because like once you get to top 8, I think most people know what they're doing against Dory, so it can be a little bit harder. But like getting the top 4 isn't unreasonable.
Yeah, I agree. I still want to like have it be one of your first picks, but
yeah,
it's solid. It's not gonna. I wouldn't discourage anybody from playing it. Is I guess what I'm saying. Like I think it's a fine pick. All right, next is Fi. I was actually just about to look at the Talishar stats for Fi.
They took my boy out back.
35%. It's not great.
You said Fi. I already put him in don't play. Like,
yeah, it's looking like it.
Yeah, I think it's rough because he loved all the brand with Cinderclaws. The first way you started the deck was brand with Cinderclaw.
Yeah,
it's not a good day to be a Fi fan.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's all I have to say about it. Yeah, it's just not as strong as the other decks. It's not a solid pick to top 4 RTN.
Yeah, and it's like, why not just play Syndra? Like you want extra
Still
damage
the same
to
boat.
Hunter Anvil. Like,
yeah. Why not play Syndra? All right. Next is Fang. I think that this is solid B tier. Strong deck, but inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually think it's I could see it bottom of A. Just like I think that it plays in the reaction step. He has some very crazy value lines when he's online, that no other deck can like really reach. And there's a very few decks that I think that can honestly like stop him in his game plan. Like he does have some defensive tools. He does have a lot of armor. He has a
Yeah.
lot of armor.
I think
And
what
it's
I
like
would say though, I want to counter really quick. If someone came up to you and was like, "Hey, I can either bring Syndra to I want to get my nationals invite, and that's it. I can bring Syndra or I can bring Fang. Which one would you pick? Which one would you tell them to play?"
I mean,
I would pick Syndra.
I think it depends on experience, honestly, because like I think
Same
if you're
experience
a
level,
much
both decks. Same experience level.
not and like not in the decks, but more of like your experience as a player. Because I think if it's something where this is more of your earlier or like some of your first RTNs, I would probably recommend Syndra. If this is something where you're more experienced, I would say Fang. Like I think he just plays a very different aggressive game. And
Yeah.
well, Syndra, you can just like, oh, 0 for 3, block 3, 0 for 3, block 3, 0 for 3, block 3. Fang, you can't just like, here's a dagger for 1. What's it gonna be? It's like I can reasonably block 3 on the first one, maybe lose 1 block value. But the second one, I have no idea how much it's actually coming in for. And they run 0 for 4s too, so they could just like pump and then play a 0 for 4 coming at you after you blocked big on their second dagger. I think he has the classic like, and it might be just the classic Dory problem, and where it's like, oh, I just don't know how to play into the hero. But I also think he has just super explosive plays. Like he has just 0 for 5s in reactions when he's online. He has real like his daggers are free, which makes it a 0 for 6. Like I think his ceiling is higher than Syndra's, but his floor is lower than Syndra's. Like I could see him even arguably being put into like specialized. But
I don't
like
think so.
I honestly,
Because it's if we're going with the specialization being like you really need to have a ton of hours on this hero in order to play it correctly.
yeah,
I don't think that thing necessarily drops into that boat. Um,
yeah, that's fair.
I
And
so
I,
I could be okay with putting Fang at bottom of A. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I think that if someone on Armory was like, "Hey, I don't know what to play at my RTN 2 or 3 weeks from now," I would suggest Syndra over Fang, but that's just
yeah,
me.
and I
It's
guess it
close.
also could be like Syndra's really easy to like pick up comparatively to Fang.
Yeah.
But again, I think that Fang
It's
just has overall more power.
it's
Is
just
the
the
thing
consistency,
personally?
right? That's just my thought. Like
Yeah,
if you want to top four, I would much rather not look at my first 3 hands as Fang in my top 8 game and be like, why did I bring this hero? That's my thought. But it's not a bad hero.
yeah,
I think Fang is a great hero to win in RTN. I'm but if I'm putting this tier list in the lens of top fouring in RTN, um, it's a little different.
yeah.
But I'm happy with bottom
It
of
is
A.
a little different.
I'm happy with bottom of A.
It's weird because I kind of go you're saying like he has a higher chance at the win than Syndra, but like a worse chance to top 4, which like is a weird thing to like think of in the perspective of.
Right. It really changes how they rank the heroes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think generically he is like powerful personally. I don't know, last time I convinced you to move a hero somewhere, it was Verdant's down to B tier. So like,
Yeah. I mean, this is the opposite. You're moving them up. It's fine.
yeah, and I mean, it's like moving him up like a slot. It wasn't like a huge jump. I think it's like a
Yeah.
above Syndra, below Syndra thing. And it might be he moves down to B after we're finished out, but
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Next is Florian, and I would originally put it in don't play, but I'm looking at the Talishar stats. 60% overall win rate for Florian, which is crazy. Um, it looks like the reason is that you are really favored into um, Mario and KO, which are the top two decks being played on Talishar right now. You are also really good into Dash IO. Um, you are really good into Slippy. And then you just have a lot
like
of
your bad
50%
matchups.
matchups. Your only bad matchups are Syndra, which isn't played that much, Fang, which depends on your area, and that's it. There's only bad matchups that I'm seeing.
Victor.
Yeah, but I
Like
don't think
it's
I'm
semi
not worried
bad.
about
It's like
Victor
45. Yeah.
as like a deck that I'm going to be concerned about running into it on RTN, right? So I mean, I would have if I didn't look at the stats, I would have said don't play. But looking at the stats,
I
Florian's not
mean,
looking bad.
I think you also have to take like stats with a grain of salt. Like I
Of
think he's a
course.
consistent hero, so like I don't think he's a don't play because like I think you at least put him in B tier because he is consistent. He still has felling of the crown. He still has plow under. He still can run sinks and all that stuff. He takes a little
Yeah.
longer to get online. It's like I think he's lost some game plans and he's definitely
So
lost a lot of his power from being slower. But
so that's the thing though, is that Florian, the getting the hero power online, it's obviously great. You start getting extra value every time you grasp. But that wasn't necessarily the that big of a deal for the deck. It's just you are a super
yeah,
valued deck, right?
mm,
Um, yeah, it hurts your first felling, which is a big deal. But outside of that, you're just a value deck. You just outgrind your opponents. You have this end game that is just insane value. Um,
yeah.
I think it's a very solid RTN deck. It's consistent. It's strong. It's clearly strong. It's actually positioned well in the meta. I don't know. It's looking good to me.
Think he's under Slippy still. Like I
Sure. I don't think he's like top of
like
A. I'm
yeah,
not saying he's
like
top of A, but
I
I
could
would
argue like top of B or somewhere in A, like based off data, but like I still think it's like he's a consistent deck. He can, I think, reasonably get you to top four. I think
exactly.
the thing is like in that perspective, he could reasonably get you into top four, but I don't see him winning a lot of like
But
first
again,
rounds.
we're not rating these heroes based on
Yeah,
winning. We're rating these heroes based on getting top four. And I think he is
and
a
that's
very strong top four deck, more so than Fang. I would put out there.
yeah, I
Um,
could see that.
it's close when it comes to Arachne Huntsman. Whether
Maybe
or
a
not,
very different thing, but similarly, if that makes
yeah.
any sense.
But I mean, looking at the stats, it makes sense. Like I at least want to put him above Fang for now.
Yeah,
Um,
I can agree with that. I'll let
maybe
that.
maybe even above Huntsman. I think
I could see that.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna put him right behind Slippy in A tier.
Hmm.
I think just solid deck. You have a good shot at getting your invite in top four with it. Your favorite in just a lot of these other top decks appear. Looks like a solid choice actually.
Yeah.
All right, next is Gravy Bones. This is an interesting one. When looking through the lens of a top four, um, I think very strong contender. I think especially considering that we're saying that you are very comfortable on all these decks, not necessarily specialized, but very comfortable. I think Gravy is a very solid choice. You have a bit of consistency issues, but the deck itself is just a super high power level. You will just play into a lot of people that don't know the optimal way to play into Gravy, and we'll get a lot of points there at your RTN. I would put him maybe above Florian, near top of A.
I
What do you
think
think?
he's a buff Slippy. Like I still think his powerful plays are more strong, like stronger than like Slippy as a hero.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot. Like I think he's still the necromancer. He still has chum. He still has ways to just shut down game plans.
Yep.
He lost chart, which made, from what I hear from Gravy players, made his aggressive matchups worse.
Yeah, it was just like you had to take these higher risk lines into the
Yeah.
aggro matchups, right? And you just lost another one of those high risk lines.
But like aggressive decks are down. Like Syndra's not great right now.
Mm.
And like Dio is a spec hero. Like you're not just gonna see people picking up and playing Dios at your RTN and at least succeeding. You might run into one early, but you can still beat aggressive heroes. You still have Conqueror of the High Seas. I like and every time they make a ban, like everyone I talk to that like plays, or not everyone, but like some of the Gravy players are like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's still the same deck, does mostly the same thing. Like the consistency's hurt a little bit, but the power level's the same.
Yeah.
And so it's something where it's like, I think you do have to know how to play him, but like, I think you can do, I like, and again, top fouring, like, luck's not going to go always the right way for you. So it might be harder for him to win. But I think he still has some crazy powerful plays to make it into top four. And that's when I'm like, I think Gravy
Yeah.
Bones is top of A for me.
Yeah, it's again one of those things where if we were ranking based off of winning, actually I guess it would be more of like a winning deck too. I think it's just solid
Yeah.
all around. It's just a
And
good
it's
deck.
like something we could put him at bottom S too. Like I could see that. But it's something where it's like I think I
I
want
think
to
I
say
like
top
that.
of A,
I'm
maybe
gonna
bottom S. Like
I think I'm gonna say bottom S. I think I like that one actually.
okay.
I think it's just a really good pick. Um,
Hmm.
you'll have some bad matchups, but again, at an RTN level, the players are not quite as practiced, and therefore, even your bad matchups, you can win, especially if you are comfortable on Gravy. So I think it's a really, really good choice. It's gonna have some auto wins too, which is great. Um, you don't have any auto losses, which is a huge deal. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Ira. The stats have it in a pretty rough spot, and I think I agree with that. I
The one thing I wanted to like
mm,
ask you, are you in last 7 days or are you in last 30?
I'm looking last 7
Because one
because last 30
okay.
would include before the BNR. So I'm looking at last
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah, and I mean at last 7, she's still at like 46%. She's not the worst.
Am I looking? No. She's at where is it? Was it 46? It might have been 46. Yeah, but if you look at the top 3 heroes that are in play rate and her win rate into those heroes, your only good matchup is Gravy, Reinar, and Slippy. Those are the only
Yeah.
like top decks that you have a good matchup into. um, so yeah, I could concede maybe like bottom of B, but I want to put her in don't play.
I could see her. I think she's good into a lot of the RT. Like one thing I want to argue, she could be good. So I will let you put her either in don't play or bottom of B. I'll let you figure that out. But I want to do a counterpoint to putting her in don't play, just because it's something that I think is a relevant point. But I think that she's better into the generic field than some other ninjas, but she struggles with the meta. But the other thing I want to say is we are in an RTN where people are much more willing to play their pet decks than they
Yes.
are to play the meta deck, which I think helps her out.
So
And with
I
that
want to
information,
first ask, do
yeah,
you think that there are any versions of the list that are okay to play outside of the aggressive like dual threat style list?
uh, I don't. So I want to say I don't know Ira
I don't
enough.
think there
I
are.
like. I
And
felt like there was some really cool plays with like the Edge of Autumn build. Like I took it to one armory and I went 2-1. Like it was really cool. It was a lot
it's
of
not
fun.
terrible. But like
It's
okay,
not terrible,
but what I'm
but
trying to get at
it's
too, if
like
someone
at
came
an
up to you
RTN.
and was like, "Hey, do you think I should play my Edge of Autumn Ira build to get a top 4 invite at my RTN?" What would you tell them? You would tell them don't play that.
Yeah.
All right. And then so we can rule out that like okay, it's only the dual threat one that's even in consideration. So then if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, I want to get my nationals invite. Should I play dual threat RTN or dual threat IRA at my RTN?" Would you say don't play it or would you say it might be okay? You know? What would you tell them?
uh,
I
yeah, and that's
exactly. Like
this is why I said you can decide after my point if she's a don't play. Like I
it's
do
so
think she
close.
struggles.
It
I
is
think like
top of don't play for me. Very
I
top
mean
of don't play.
if we're doing it like top of don't play, like I think you can like if and it might be like if you're specialized on the deck, maybe you know some lines or have some spicy tech, but like it's not good enough to be in the spec tier. Like that's what I want to say. It's like
Yeah.
I don't think it's good enough to be in the spec tier. Like you have to be a specialist to play it in an RTN. Like, and you can
Yeah.
play any of these heroes at an RTN if you're a specialist. Is what I want to say.
Right.
But she's not good enough to be a specialist and be valued among the specialists. Is my personal opinion.
Right. Exactly. That's the big thing is like if you're even if someone was super comfortable on the deck, I would recommend they change decks. Is what I'm trying to say. Like if someone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I really like my dual threat RT or dual threat IRA list. I'm gonna play it this weekend." I'll be like, you don't have enough time to switch decks now. but I would highly recommend starting to learn a new deck
Yeah,
before
that's
your
fair.
next RTN. That's what I would say to anybody who is like, hey, should I play this to get my invite? Yeah. So Tapa don't play because I wasn't intending to rank the don't play characters, but it's like you can play it. I just would highly recommend against it.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Jarl. What do you think?
I think this is the best meta position he's been in a while. I actually think this is like, I think that a lot of the ceiling has been taking out of a few of these decks. He likes to play defensive games. So, like, I think Marionette's top deck right now. And it's something where it's like, at like top 3 decks, like including Spec, is Marionette, Dio, Gravy, in my opinion. And Jarl, you love the Dio matchup.
Yeah.
Jarl, if you're on fatigue or on offensive, like you're probably pretty happy with the Marionette matchup. And then Gravy is like the only one you're iffy into, but he lost a little bit of his consistency. And they still have a game plan into him. It's not like completely lost. So it's like out of the top 3, like, oh no, like I don't want to see Gravy, but I'm really, really good in the other 2. And let me look at like down the list. Like, okay, maybe you're a little scared of Florian, but I honestly don't think he's that good. I think the stats are a little wish wash. Like Syndra, I think Syndra's like an auto win. Dory, you're good into. Fang, you're good into. Arachne, you're Huntsman, you're good, probably good into. I don't know. I think that's an experience thing. That's probably an experience thing. If you know more know more about the Arachne than Arachne knows about Jarl, you're gonna be good into it. It's probably a 50-50. Slippy, I think you're good into. I think Jarl like has the opportunity to tackle this meta in a lot of different ways too. Like you can play the ice build, you can still play the Felling Earth build. You're a little slower with it, but you can still play Felling of the Crown and Plow Under. You can play straight fatigue. Like you can just say, "Can you get over me?" And a lot of the decks, I don't think are built to answer that question. I think, and that's the other thing about this meta. I don't think decks are built to answer fatigue. You turn around and say, "Hey, I'm going to slow your game plan down. I'm going to," and I mean, I see you're shaking your head. Like I think Dio's like a special exception because like it is a problem she has to run into, but it's something where like I personally think like I don't think there's a lot of decks that are specifically built to get around fatigue because straight fatigue hasn't really mattered since Gravy came out. So decks just don't have that kind of angle.
So I guess what I want to ask you. So I'm gonna lead up first by looking over the stats. The Talishar stats have it at an overall 44% win rate. It is unfavored into Mario, super unfavored into Kasai, and Verdance, and the next notable one is probably Florian. And then it's has a lot of 50-50s, and its only super favored matchups are Dio, Syndra, Slippy. That's it. The rest of them are like 50-50s ish. Oh wait, sorry. Oop. Let's go up here. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. So with that in mind, what category would you put it in terms of I would recommend you play this over this?
I still think it's the idea of like if you wanted to sit down and play a fatigue deck, like I want to sit down and play a fatigue deck, I'd still recommend it over Huntsman
Yeah.
because like I think you have more like you have better aggressive plays. Like Huntsman is like I'm just gonna sit here and fatigue you. I'm just gonna sit here and stop you from doing like and take cards from your deck. Well, like Jarl, although he's not very aggressive, especially for like a Guardian, he still has like Old Fused. He still has pummels. Like he still has the ability to go more aggressive. So it's something where it's like maybe we put him below Arachne, Huntsman, but it's something where it's like I honestly think that he's a deck that if someone's like, "Hey, I want to play a fatigue deck," like I'd recommend Jarl. That's the deck to go. I wouldn't recommend Victor or Valda or any other hero really. Like Arachne, I wouldn't recommend like Arachne as much as I would recommend Jarl to go and take an RTN. And it might be a lot of my bias showing, but it's something where it's like I think that also decks are just not ready for ice.
So
And although he doesn't have a lot, it's still relevant.
I definitely don't want to place too much of an emphasis on Talishar stats, but
Yeah,
I think Talishar stats do more closely align with local level tournaments. And
that's fair.
do you have the Fabry stats page, meta stats page up?
Yeah, I do.
Can you highlight Jarl and Arachne Husband?
I mean, like
I think the problem that's like the thing is that I obviously again stats aren't concrete here. It
mhm.
just it looks to me like Arachne is basically doing what Jarl wants to do, but better into everything except for gravy, and that's about it. I think.
You
And
also have to
Syndra,
consider that
but
it's like I also think that Arachne's more specialized. Like a lot less people are playing it, so there's a lot. I don't know.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
like
I would
also want to
heavily
put.
disagree with putting Jarl above Arachne. Is all I'm gonna say. I think it's fine to put him in A tier. I think I think he is a deck that you can definitely get a top four with, because you're gonna play against a lot of people that don't know how to play against it. You're gonna catch people off
Yeah,
guard because the list is built in multiple different ways. You will just have some good matchups that you'll run into. You'll just have some auto wins, but I think that you're gonna run into a handful of matchups in your top 8 game that you're not gonna be quite happy with, um, and it's gonna be a bit rough. I don't know.
I
I
mean, if
I,
you want to put him like bottom of A,
I would
I
be
still think I would.
I would put him above Fang for what it's worth,
Okay.
just not above Arachne Huntsman.
One thing
I
I do
think
want to say is like Slippy does not perform well in Talishar. Unlike that, his win rate is 42%.
I was gonna start moving him down once we got through the list.
Yeah,
I don't think he belongs at top of A, unfortunately.
no, he does not.
I
It's
think he
not a
has some
very
cool things.
long-lived thing.
We can move him
Yeah,
right now. I think we can put him to top of B if we want to put him there for now,
that's
or
kind of
bottom
what
of
I
A.
was thinking.
Top of B. Okay.
I was thinking top of B.
Okay. Top of B. I think I'm okay with this so far. I just, like again,
There's
I don't
still a
think
lot of
Jarl's a
heroes to go.
terrible pick. I don't think Jarl's
Yeah,
is a terrible pick. I just don't. If someone was like, hey, I want to learn a deck for my last week of RTNs. Should I learn Arachne Huntsman or Jarl? I would say Arachne Huntsman, personally.
yeah. I think that's the difference of purpose, like a little different.
Yeah. I think there's
So,
definitely some bias on both sides, but they are right next to each other, so they're basically not. Honestly, let's just say they're tied. They technically they have a lead, but like for the purpose of this tier list, let's just say they are overlayered on top of each other for that spot in
mm,
A.
sounds good.
All right. Kano doesn't exist, so you
Please
should
don't
definitely not play him, or else you're going to
Yeah.
get DQ'd from your RTN. Kasai. This is an interesting one. What are your thoughts on Kasai? I want to hear that first before I do my spiel.
I think Kasai is like the consistent value deck in a way. From turn 0, she throws value, and she also has outs in a lot of her game plans. Like she can create cell swords, which is a very strong thing. You have allies that swing for 3 damage, 1 for 3 go against. You have a lot of gold generation now. Like you have a lot of way to get around that. You have power plays if you're playing the copper plan to do blood on her hands. I feel pretty solidified on her position, but what are your thoughts?
No, I agree with you. I think she's a very solid, well-rounded deck. She's consistent. She's strong. She has good matchups into a lot of the meta. I am of the opinion she belongs in S tier, right behind Mario.
I'm okay with that. I was thinking top of A, but like I think the way we talked to her about her, like that, I can agree with that. Like there's just so much to her. Like she has all the armor you want. She has reaction. She can do any game plan. She's
Again, it's like
so mobile.
for top 4 in RTN. I think that if you're a competent player, you will top
Oh,
4 every RTN you go to with Kasai, unless you get super unlucky.
yeah,
Right? Like I think it's just an S tier level RTN deck. Is my thought.
that makes sense.
Um,
I can agree with that. I will.
Yeah, like it's
Can agree
just
with
so
that.
much stronger than Gravy in that sense. I think Mario just has a power level that is insane,
Mm,
Otherwise, I would put Kasai at literally. Honestly, I might be convinced to put Kasai at the top of S tier. Like the only reason I'm
okay.
holding back is I'm looking at the stats and she loses to Mario. She has like a 38% win rate to Mario. That's the only reason I'm keeping her where she is now. Otherwise, I'd put her at top of S.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I completely agree. Like, there's not a lot for me to say. Like, I keep wanting to say something, but it's just I think Kasai does a lot of very, very, very strong things. The only thing I think she struggles with is like without the blood on her hands, her absolute ceiling isn't very high. But when
Yeah,
you
but
have
you're
so
just
much
super consistent.
armor and
Yeah,
consistency, it doesn't really matter.
exactly.
And like my point with that, she has everything. Like she has everything. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
All right. Next up is Katsu. Um, I think that this might be a specialized hero. This might be our second specialized. What do you think?
If someone asked you, should I play Katsu at my RTN? I really want to get an invite. What would you say?
I think that I would say if you are really good at Katsu, I don't think it's the pair. I don't think it's that bad of a choice. I think it's fine. I mean, look at this. I mean, I guess maybe I'm overvaluing the stats. I'm looking at the top hero stats and it looks fine. But you know what?
How many games?
You might have a good point. I don't think it's don't play though. I don't think it's don't play for what it's worth. I think maybe it's like
Like
B tier.
bottom of B tier.
Yeah, probably bottom of B below Dory.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
It's just you've asked me that question so many times. I'm like, this is my turn to get back.
It's yeah, it's interesting because like the way that we have the specialized here, it's like we want these decks to be really good decks, but only specialized. Where Katsu is like it's an okay deck if you're specialized. So I
Well,
think it doesn't belong there because of that.
and like the weird thing about the specialized tier is like you could put any hero there. Like Flesh and Blood is a
Yes.
like specialized hero game. And that's why like I want to emphasize that it's like specialized, and I think specialized, like if we took that away for the generic person, like deal would probably be A. But like
Yeah.
specialized is like that special term of like, hey, claimer, if you're spec'd on this, it's an S tier pick. Like you should be bringing this.
Right.
It's
That's a good
probably
point.
bottom of A. Like,
Yeah.
well, it's like Katsu is like if you're specialized in any hero, of course it's gonna be really good, but it's I
So
think generally still B.
does that mean that we should put only a specialized between the S and A tier?
I could
I like
argue
that.
that that's
I like that
fine.
actually. I think that makes sense with what we're doing. So let's move up the only a specialized to below S tier and above A tier. Because
Yeah,
that is what we're rating this as. We're saying if you are
yeah,
specialized in this hero, it is a solid S or A tier deck depending. Right.
yeah.
So I think I like this. All right. KO. Our previous S tier hero.
Oh, yeah. People just don't know how to play him. Yeah.
I would say solid A tier. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
where I'd put him in A tier so far. He's strong. He will just win you games, but he will also just
Yeah.
lose you games. I don't think he's weak enough to go to B tier. So I think he belongs in A somewhere. Where in A?
I,
Good question.
I want to put him at top of A just because, like,
Yeah,
our A looks like a really funny bracket right now. And
it
it's like
is.
a lot of heroes that a lot of people aren't going to pick up. And I think KO is something you can very, very easily pick up. And I think have a, like, good shot. Like, everyone's going to lose a game at an RTN. And if you lose 2 games because your deck discarded Blood Rush Bellow randomly off the top, okay, well, that next game you randomly discarded Beast Within off the top and got like a 4 card Blood Rush Bellow hand, or
Yeah.
like a after Blood Rush Bellow, you have 4 cards, something crazy like that. Like KO has some really power plays, and he's not a spec deck. Like you're not gonna get better by knowing every single like you will, but like you're
You
not
will.
gonna get
Every
that
hero
much
will though.
exponentially better.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm like, I honestly think KO is a like A tier hero, like
Yeah.
top of A is where I want to
It's
sit.
it's a good choice. I think the only like ding is that the variance can kind of get you a loss before you get your invite.
Yeah.
But very solid deck. It's just strong. It's good into a lot of the top decks. Yeah.
Like 50-50 into everything. Like
Yeah.
you have a chance into everything, and that's what's so cool about him.
Yeah.
It's like if you know how to play Flesh and Blood and you pick up KO, I honestly think you have a chance into every hero.
Yeah, I like it. I think the positioning in A is up for debate, but I'm okay with putting him top of A.
Yeah.
Next up is Levia. As a previous Levia player, what do you think?
Oh man, it's been so long, so I wouldn't even put that in like caveats in this meta. I don't know enough Leviah at the moment.
So the only
I think
thing
it's
that's like
also
contentious, I would normally put her in don't play. However, we have a local, Mo Bogsley, who is a specialist in Levia and took her to 2 or 3 PQ top 8s last PQ season.
and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I almost want to put her in only specialized, but again, if you're going for a top 4 and that's your only goal, you shouldn't be bringing this character. So unfortunately, I think she belongs in like don't play, just anywhere and don't play really.
Yeah.
But
It's so like
yeah,
I would be like, oh, just slam dunk, don't play, and then like Mo Bogsley is like destroying me in a top 8,
yeah,
and I'm like,
exactly.
this hero is crazy. Why isn't everyone playing her?
I will say
If
the
you're
fact
Mo
that
Bogsley, S tier.
yeah. We need a new tier. If Mo, S tier.
If Mo, S.
I will say though,
only.
with the assassins out there too, that we're putting up near the top of the tier list, probably not the best pick either for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't play unless you're Mo. If you're Mo and you're watching this, S tier. If you're not Mo,
like
don't play. All right, Marlon. Kind of curious on what her stats look like.
I think Marlon. One thing I want to say, I haven't really played into Marlon, but I think she's gonna suffer a lot from Marionette being best deck. A lot of people are putting in more defense reactions that get around her overpower. I think this meta change was a huge downgrade for her because people aren't trying to like disrupt as much as they are just trying to block. I don't know. I think the way to tackle Marionette makes Marlon a lot worse because it also just counters Marlon very strongly.
Yeah. She has a 25% win rate into Marlon on Talishar. Yeah, not great. And then she just doesn't have any good matchups outside of Jarl. That's it. It's Jarl and Vincent and Reinar. So like, yeah. I think that puts her solidly in don't play. Unless you're Aurora, and then you might be
Yeah.
like top
There's
of
a lot
tier.
of caveats, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's like it's tough because but
I would recommend her over Katsu. Like I think she has a different, like a strong game plan. I just think that she's struggling in the current meta.
I mean,
But
maybe
it's
I probably just overvalue Katsu. Let's put Katsu into don't play below
Okay.
Ira.
Yeah.
You know, you make a good point. I wouldn't recommend anybody play Katsu actually. Would I put Marlon above Dorinthia? Probably not in this meta.
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't.
So I think
Dorinthia has better ways. Like
maybe just
I
like
could see
bottom
Marlon
B.
being bottom. Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking I could see Marlon at bottom B.
Yeah. I'm looking at these stats. I was like, that's so bad into Mario. You're so bad into Kasai. You don't beat Gravy apparently. Yeah, I don't know. This is I think like I will say these stats are probably a bit skewed because it is a tough hero to play correctly.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it does belong in the bottom of B because
sure,
like
it has like a it's like sorry, let me figure out my thoughts.
You're good.
I want to say that I take a lot of these stats with a grain of salt, but it's something where I think that Marlon is struggling more into the meta. I think she's a strong hero, and that's why I don't want to put her on don't play. Like I don't want to put her there because she is a strong hero. She has a lot of really strong plays. Throwing 18 overpower, I'm gonna rip 2 attack actions out of your hand. Broken. It's crazy, but it's something like your average turn is still gonna be like It's a lot easier to block your average turn, and that's where I'm like, I think she drops a lot in the meta. And I could I'm fine with her anywhere in B tier, but I definitely think she's at least a B tier hero to me.
Okay, I agree with it. I think I think the stats are a bit skewed downward because it's a tough hero to play correctly. That's it. All right, Max.
I'm sorry, Tanner.
Sorry, Tanner. Don't play. Just put him only above Kano because you can't play Kano. All right, next. End of discussion. Next, Olympia. Unfortunately, also probably don't play.
Yeah.
You could maybe fatigue some people, but I wouldn't really count on it. So
You have two way better fatigue decks in the meta right now.
yeah,
One that banishes cards and one that slows down the game in ice or has Felling of the Crown in his deck. And then
Yeah.
you decide that you just want to have an extra equipment suite. That's your only power play.
yeah, that's it.
The equipment suite that does nothing. Like
Yeah. Yep. So
I have
yep, don't
8
play.
extra life. Yeah.
Acilio is in only a specialized.
Yeah.
Whether or not
Excellent.
above or below Dio is up to debate. But only in specialized. Only specialized for sure. I'm gonna put below Dio because I'm biased. But
I'll allow that.
yeah.
I'll allow it.
Pretty much there. Yeah.
I do think Acilio's really good. Like if you're specialized in Acilio, insane right now. I have actually like in my Valda deck right now, I have tech specifically for Acilio because I am so scared of spec Acilios.
It's been funny just how many people in our local area have been like, "Hey, I'm looking for bells, amulet of echoes."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had them in my deck like the last couple or like the last 2-3 weeks. I'm like, after the bans, I'm like, Acilio's gonna be so strong around here. I need those amulets in my deck.
Yep. Yeah, I would say kind of similar to Dio. If your goal is only top 4, there are some consistency issues that can dissuade you from playing Acilio.
Yeah.
But if you are very specialized in the hero, then it's extremely strong. Yeah. That's all I have to say about Acilio. Next is Prism. I think that she belongs somewhere in B tier. And the reason being is that you just aren't beating all that much. You're just not.
That is not what I expected at all.
Why is that? You thought she'd be stronger?
I was thinking top of A, like
No.
maybe not top. I was thinking below KO though. Like there's just so many game plans that like I think the hardest thing to argue for her is she's really bad in KO.
She is really bad into KO. She's actually really bad into Kasai. You are
really
flipping.
Bad into Kasai?
Yeah, she's really bad into Kasai. The problem is that like the super defensive decks, like with D-reacts and all that free armor and stuff, like you can kind of just take forever to get online. And Kasai has allies to help with like the clearing of auras and stuff. So it's interesting. Like it's just you just aren't that well positioned. Against the decks that you're favored against, it's still like flipping a coin half the time, depending on what you draw. So it's like on pure power level, I would put her higher. But the problem is that if your goal is the top 4, is to get your NAS invite, it's just not really the right choice. I think that I would recommend her above Marlin, above Dory, maybe even above Syndra, but not any further than that.
I don't know. It's I think she just has and always does. Like every single meta she pops up, she just has so many ways to tackle the meta. She has aura plans. She has aggressive plans. She can just do so much that no other hero really can. And I think the only one that like can say that they're anywhere similar is Gravy Bones. And it's just like I think that she has a lot of power to her. And I mean, 1 card 7s with Go Again are really strong. Or 1 card 6 with Go Again is really strong. Yeah. And there's definitely going to be decks that you struggle into. But like, I also think like you're good into Fang, you're good into Jarl, you're good into Huntsman. Like maybe you're not good into Florian, but I think without the defense reactions now that make him go online sooner, And if you're playing the Aura plan, you're probably good into Florian. You suck into KO. Like that's the one thing you suck into. But
Yeah.
you like Gravy. Like Kasai kind of sucks, but like you look at the stats on February and it says that they're actually cheat or that Prism's favored into Kasai.
Yeah, the Talistar stats do say that. I don't know if I agree with that, but it does
Yeah,
say
and
that.
there's like and then she seems 50-50 in the Marionette. Like I think like we look at a lot of these top heroes, like and Acilio, like I think you feel okay into Acilio, like you're just gonna swing at them. And you set up ward board, you protect. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something where it's like I think looking at a lot of the heroes outside of A, she looks terrible. But then like I look like A and up, but like you look A and up outside of KO, and it's like win, 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 KO, loss. Win, like if you only have to pay one KO, I think you're making top 4.
Okay, so you want to put her somewhere in A?
Yeah, that's my opinion on all that. And it's like even Syndra, now that she's lost her power turns, you win into Syndra, into Slippy. I think like you're probably pretty okay into Slippy too. You have that prevention that a lot of heroes don't. You have Spectral Shield, so they can't get their flick throughs. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. So if I'm looking at this tier list,
yeah,
I would probably put her below Florian and above the fatigue heroes. Mostly
I'm
because
okay with that.
I'm looking at this tier list. I think Florian is actually pretty decently positioned in a lot of these heroes. And KO is obviously just strong and decently positioned.
Mhm.
The fatigue decks, it's not like the most like it's not the strongest thing to be doing. And so I think Prism probably fits right between there.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. Puffin. I'm gonna say don't play, but it's really just like
No
an if you're super
opinion on
specialized.
Puffin. Yeah,
I'll put her at the top of don't play because like if you are really comfortable with her, you can definitely get an invite with her, which maybe puts her in bottom of B. Now I think about it.
like right below Marlin.
Yeah, actually I'll do that. I'm gonna put her below Marlin. I think that you can definitely get your top 4 invite. I just think that you have to be really comfortable with the deck, and the variance also has to go your way. Yeah, that's all I have to say about her.
Reinar.
Reinar is interesting. Got a lot of new cards. I've been seeing a lot of a huge uptick on people playing Reinar and Talishar lately, and the stats, if I can find them, the stats are actually not great, but it's a lot of people testing out the new cards, and I don't expect the
Army
list
decks
to be...
usually make stats worse when they come out, which is really funny.
So it's kind of hard to evaluate. Long story short, I don't know.
Bad into Mario, bad into Kasai, bad into Gravy, bad into Verdance, bad into you're good into Acilio.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of these top decks is like not looking great.
Yeah.
And like
I wouldn't say don't play though. I think it's probably a solid.
Oh no, I
deck.
think he's definitely playable.
I don't know where to put him.
Like I could recommend him over Syndra. Like I could see that. Like he has a unique way to interact with the meta that isn't just I throw attack.
I like
he
it.
Intimidates. So
I think it's a really good spot. Yeah, but right below Slippy and above Syndra. All right, Riptide. Don't play.
Unfortunately.
But in him, yeah, it just doesn't really matter where in don't play.
I mean, he's good in a Marionette.
Yeah, that's something.
Just don't look at the rest of the field and you're pretty happy.
Yeah.
I could see him being like a dark horse pick, but I feel like he's always the dark horse pick and he never shows up. So that's why I think I'm okay with him and don't play.
Bolton, same thing. Don't play. We can actually speed run
a lot of them really quick. Speed run.
Teklo, don't play. Azuri, don't play. Valda, don't play. I'm kidding. Valda, where does Valda go?
I'm so biased. I want to hear your opinion first.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's a good point. I've seen the highs and the lows of her. I think that she is a solid deck. I wouldn't discourage anybody from bringing her to an RTN to get their invite. if it was like a PQ to go to get first place, I would probably maybe discourage everybody except for you. But for an invite for an RTN, I would say that's perfectly fine, perfectly good. I would probably say if it's anybody except for you, I would say that
That's very nice, but
she belongs maybe below Slippy in B.
so I'm gonna say this as like a silly little joke. She
Yeah,
has a 50%, 56% win rate on February.
I haven't
Is
looked at
that
the
not
stats
an
yet.
amazing win rate?
Let's see here. Let's find her.
Anyways, I
RTN.
would probably put her
Okay, but
above
wait.
Morgan.
Before we dive into these stats too much, how many of these 1.3 thousand games are you?
That's a lot
um,
of games. That's cool.
yeah,
In
you know what's
7
funny
days,
though?
I'm only like 100 of them. That's like 1,000 other games.
What's funny is that like some of these stats. Well, it's funny that the DO stat specifically I disagree with. It says you're 67% in a DO. That's just not true. That's just not true at all. I feel slightly favored in that matchup. Um,
Crazy, but okay.
we can play it again.
We should. That's fair. That's fair. We haven't played it in a while, but yeah,
No,
that's really
I
fair.
when I play that matchup, I definitely can't lose, but it's all on my deck not functioning more than your deck
Mm.
functioning. Does that make sense? And so it really depends on the DO player's skill. And for the Talishar stats, I think that it's skewed towards people that are not as comfortable in the deck. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that I think she's not a bad choice. I'm looking at the stats. There's not a ton of stats, but she's unfavored into Mario. She's favored into KO. Slightly unfavored into Kasai, so we'll just call it 50-50. 50-50 into Gravy. I'm going to say unfavored, but probably more like for your RTN, you're probably more like 50-50 into DO.
I think for the RTN, you're probably favored unless it's like you're sitting in front of Cody Reddy on Dio or any of the other like
Fair.
dash IOs.
I think that all like these days, a lot of the DOs you'll play against are at least somewhat comfortable with like the fatigue game plan, which is
That's
a
fair.
lot of these
That's fair.
guardians default into. But anyway, unfavored inadvertence, favored into
You're
Ocilio.
terrible in the burdens.
Yeah. It says favored into Ocilio. I'm not sure I agree with that either.
I think
But
with the Amulet of Echoes tech, I think it definitely sways it a lot more.
That's fair.
And I could see a lot of Valdas going onto it because before Amulet of Echoes, you were a dog into Acilio. Like Acilio had your name. But then Amulet
Yeah.
of Echoes, it's really interesting because they can't just combo kill you. They have to play a medium game plan, which I think ends up being in your favor.
Honestly,
Although, like, I think this high of a win rate is like a little absurd.
after
Yeah.
looking at these stats, I would put her in an A tier. I'd wear an A tier. I'm gonna let you decide. But definitely above Prism.
That's crazy. I don't think she's that good.
I mean, I'm looking at these stats and I'm like, she has at least 50-50s into a lot of things,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no, like again, I think the stats are a little I don't like going off the
But
stats
like
specifically.
again, if it's someone that's like, hey, which one of out of all these heroes, how would you rank them in terms of getting a Nats invite? I would recommend Valda over Prism to getting a Nats invite.
That's like crazy to me. I would recommend Valda over Huntsman, but that's because personally I think Huntsman's too high. I would actually recommend Jarl before I recommend Valda. Like,
I don't
but
know.
that's
If
my
you
own
look at those
personal
stats
opinion.
side by side, again,
That's
stats are
fair.
not the king.
Yeah, yeah, it's I don't know, and it might be that I'm like used to no one playing Valda and being like the only Valda player at any like RTN around here.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked well for me in the last ProQuest season.
I think it's one of those decks where if you're really comfortable on it, you'll do much better too.
Yeah, and it's like I guess what I want to say is like for a Guardian deck, her ceilings are the highest. It's like except maybe Victor, but like her ceilings are insanely high. Like, oh, I'm gonna play Terra Sunder and do a free whatever.
Yeah.
And I have Pummel on it. Like I can play the Terra Sunder spec Pummel, discard your hand, you draw up, discard 3 cards. Not that that's like a common thing, but it's something where I think like she has the highest ceiling, but she also out of a lot of the Guardians have a lower floor. I don't know.
I'll let you place it then. Where you want
No,
to
don't do
go?
this to me.
You know, but I mean, you know better than me.
I do, but like I am so extremely biased, and I'm trying to take it out. The stats look really good. I think there's a lot of matchups. And I want to say the strongest thing about her is like I think outside of the main meta heroes, she's insane. Like you sit down, you're like, ah, okay, just another game that I need to beat. Like you know how to beat it. It's just like I think the other thing is like Mario. Like Mario's so hard. And it like I think it's also just like Mario can kill you. Like the games I lose is like, okay, like he's throwing dagger at me. I'm at 12 health. And then he's like, okay,
Boop,
dagger
boop.
for 15. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, defense reaction. And they're like, toxin. And I'm like, good game. Like, those are the games I lose against Mario is when they just have it.
Yeah.
Like, but if we get into single digits, I'm usually winning. And it's like, it's weird. Like, if game ends in double digits, I auto lose. If game ends in single digits, like I win. And it's a tough matchup. I think you're very unfavored. Fang sucks, but Fang sucks to play into, but Fang's not going to be super duper popular. I mean, we could put her above Huntsman.
Yeah.
I still would recommend Prism over Valda. Like, I think she just attacks the meta in a much different, like, in enough ways that Valda can't really.
We'll see. I expect way more Valda wins than Prism wins. Obviously, we
That would
can't
be
see the top fours of everything, which is unfortunate to get confirmation on these, but it is what it is. All right, verdicts. I don't have a
the
ton.
PTSD's coming back.
I don't have a ton of experience. Yeah, I don't want to put her too low. I think that she's pretty solid still, based on her recent tournament results.
I want to put her above Valda.
What was that?
I would put her above Valda.
I put her above Prism.
Okay, I can accept that.
I would even maybe put her above Florian, but I'll just put them next to each other. They're like probably in the same spot.
Yeah. I would no. I think I put her above Florian. She still starts with Waning Moon,
Yeah.
6 arcane spell when you're at 9 health.
Yeah, that's true. All right, right below KO.
Yeah, she still has her really really strong power plays.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, we need to speed through a few of these. Victor, probably like somewhere in B tier.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like below Syndra. Maybe.
The thing is, like, I think he has the highest and most consistent ceiling of a Guardian, and that's where I'm like, I want to put him above Valda just because you can block and still respond with something very strong and aggressive. It's like the only thing Valda has on the other Guardians is you probably are the best into Kasai. Okay, well, I guess this makes sense, but you're the best into Kasai, Gravy, and KO.
Get the stats really
which
quick.
is, at least in my personal opinion.
It looks like you are 50-50 into Mario. You're 40% into KO, 40% into Kasai, 40% into Gravy,
Yeah.
77% into Dio, 35% into Verdance. So really, you're only beating Dio, Syndra, Slippy, and Jarl. That's really all you're beating.
You're 50-50 into Mario.
That is a big deal. And you're just a Guardian deck that you can kind of just like get your way to top 8 somewhat easily in a lot of your RTNs. That's why, like, it's not don't play.
Seeing that Kasai, Gravy, and KO are pretty rough for him.
Yeah,
I could see him going in the B tier.
Somewhere in B tier. It's definitely somewhere B tier. Yeah, maybe I don't want to put him above Reinar, and I don't think I want to put him above Syndra either.
I think he's way better than Slippy and Reinar, but I think that's also my bias standing coming through.
I think we might have Slippy too high. We could move Slippy like behind Victor then.
You want to put him behind Reinar? Is Reinar top of B?
Maybe. I think Reinar might just be a solid deck.
That's fair. Reinar,
just the most unknown.
Victor, Slippy. It's kind of what we're
Reinar, Victor, Slippy, Syndra. Sure, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well.
All right, Vincent. Maybe an only if specialized. Look at the stats.
Okay, her stats make her look a little bit better, but she's bad in size. She's bad into gravy. She's bad into verdance. She's at least 50-50 into marionette,
Yeah.
and you're 50-50 into Acilio.
Yeah, maybe somewhere like bottom of B then. Because even if you're specialized, she's not the best pick.
Yeah.
So probably like maybe above Marlin.
I mean, I could see her above Reinar. Like, I think like she does do some unique things and approaches. Again, the meta in a very specialized way with a very unique way of disruption. You're okay in a marionette. You just the Kasai Gravy KO. You're not great into.
So,
I know
okay,
you're neutral in the KO.
Here's the
but
first thing. Would you recommend someone play Vincent over Victor?
No, you're right. You've got a good point.
And then maybe over Slippy. That's the question for me.
I could see it over Slippy.
I could see it.
I
Slippy's still kind of an unknown is the main problem.
yeah.
Okay. All right. But behind Victor, above Slippy. All right. Lyath. Lyath is interesting. I think maybe top of B.
I think it's like absolutely crazy that Lyeth is like getting any like results professionally. Because like outside of that, like I don't actually think he's that great of a tech.
I think he's just really tough to play. Is the big thing.
I think so too. Like I think he is only a spec hero between A and B. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. So I could see him like.
Do you think he's that strong? Because I'm putting only specialized. I'm putting like, is that tier level is between S and A?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like if only spec included B to A, then he would be in there.
Oh,
but like outside of that, I would say he's probably B tier. I would put him above Reinar.
So top of B.
Yeah.
Okay. Pleiades, probably somewhere near the bottom of B. Maybe
Yeah,
probably above Marlin.
Well, I was like, I could see her going into. I don't here. Give me a second to think about this one.
I don't think it's necessarily don't play. I think if you like have a deck you're comfortable with, I think you can get your invite with her.
She does some strong things.
Yeah.
She's good into Marlin.
Yeah. I'm gonna put her above Marlin. Unfortunately, for the sake of time, I think I'm just gonna put her above Marlin.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then KO Cheeto, if you will, probably above Lyath in B. Maybe even somewhere in A. Actually, he's just kind of consistent.
I could see him up in A.
Yeah, let's put him in A. Let's put him maybe above. What do you think, above Valda?
I mean, let's like a quick stat look. Not good into KO. 42% into KO, 40% into Kasai, 41% into Acilio. But I mean, the rest of it you're pretty okay with. Like Marionette, you're fine. Gravy's neutral. Dio's neutral.
Maybe just bottom of A then. You're solid, but you're just only solid, and that's it.
I could see him above Valda or below Valda.
Let's do below Valda.
Like I think
let's do below Valda.
Okay.
I like that. Tough Nut, don't play.
Top of don't play.
Top of don't play.
Top of don't play.
There you go. You can get an invite with him for what it's worth, but I would never recommend someone play him to get that invite.
I think that second half went a lot quicker because that's where we hit all the like don't play heroes.
Yeah,
I was worried for a second because I was like, oh my god, there's so many relevant.
So then, really quick, anything you want to change in this tier list? We currently have in S tier Mario, Kasai in order. Mario, Kasai, Gravy. Then only specialized Dio, Acilio. A tier KO, Verdance, Florian, Prism, Valda, Cheeto, Huntsman, Jarl, Fang. And then B tier, we have a lot of heroes. I'm not going to name them all. And then we have a lot of don't plays.
The only thing I don't think I'm a huge fan of is Florian being so high. Like, I guess stats are very good. But that's the only thing. Other than that, I actually am pretty happy with this. Like, maybe Huntsman, I think, is a little high as well. But
I think in terms of, like, getting your top 4, I think those are 2 solid decks. Is why I think I like where they are.
Yeah.
You aren't going to win your RTN with him probably, but you will get top 4 pretty consistently with him.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
All right.
Other than that, I think that's a pretty good list.
Sick. Anything else you want to leave our listeners with before we end the 2026 RTN top 4 invite tier list?
New year, new meta. I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Again, actually, now let us know what do you think about this tier list in the comments below, and how accurate you think you were. And with that, I'm Cody.
And I'm Jacob.
Thanks for watching and listening.